out in gate number 7. Golden Regal, the one they've tried at longer odds, standing up well in stall 5. Barossa in stall 2, the favourite. Track being cleared, first on the program, about to get underway. Off they go. And down towards the inside there, Flamber was away okay. They're all heading grandstand-wise now, with Flamber showing pace. Best of Barossa began quickly. So did Dash of Love. Go Spending is going forward. But Happy Fairy probably has the most pace of all as they head down towards the 700 metres now. And it's Dash of Love, Go Spending, Happy Fairy close to the rail. The 3 leaders. Flamber near the middle of the track is up with them. Best of Barossa is behind these from Viva Emanuela. They're being trailed a bit further back in the field then. At the head of the others is Golden Regal, who's next to last, and Danarka whipped them in by the 400 metres. Dash of Love, Flamber well off the fence, the 2 leaders. Happy Fairy against the rail. Best of Barossa easing off their heels, and so too is Golden Regal, who's the deepest runner at the 200 right across the track. Flamber, Best of Barossa reaching the lead from Dash of Love, and Happy Fairy is still there. Best of Barossa answering the whip. Happy Fairy, Best of Barossa over on the outside, and Happy Fairy and Best of Barossa just beat Happy Fairy a length and a half. I think Dash of Love will be third in front of Flamber, Danarka, Viva Emanuela, and they're trailed in then by Golden Regal and Go Spending back last of all. Stand by for placings, and the first Preble about to climb back aboard. Court Dancer with a big weight in the outside gate is ready. Preble gathering the irons now on Tarakahira, climbing back aboard. Musical Chimes, the big mare, stands 17 hands on the inside in racing well. Got back at Sandown in a slow run race. Oh, now Tarakahira is red. She's just about toppled over. She has fallen out of the back of the gates, and this is trouble because she's thrashing about there in the stalls. She's out now, but when she was down underneath, she was kicking out. Now the starter goes to the platform and is about to send them on their trip. All in. Off now. Musical Chimes didn't begin all that well after the long delay down on the inside, and one of the first out is Fleischer pinging straight to the front. Court Dancer from the wide gate zips across the field and quickly moves into second placing now. Musical Chimes mustering pace, holding third on the inside of Diamber, who settles down fourth. 1.5 Danish Habit over on the inside fifth, followed by Dark Bonnie, who's trapped out 3 wide. Strictly Jazz in the centre, 2 lengths to Clinker, and Cap the Moon last on the rails. Heading to the 1200 metres now, and the leader is Fleischer, gone away with a lead of about 4 lengths to Court Dancer. 1.5 lengths away in third placing Musical Chimes, 2 lengths Diamber, and then Danish Habit on the rails. 1 to Dark Bonnie, a bit closer to the inside now from Strictly Jazz. 1.5 lengths to Clinker, and Cap the Moon last 1,000 to run. And Fleischer bowling along at her own leisure, pricks her ears and leads by 3.5 Court Dancer, a half Musical Chimes. About 2.5 away in the field, Diamber racing outside Danish Habit, and then Dark Bonnie, who's again out 3 deep at the 800. Then Strictly Jazz, Clinker, and last Cap the Moon when they neared the corner, and Fleischer only a length in front. Court Dancer quickly comes away from the rail, and that means that Musical Chimes is now 3 deep cornering. Danish Habit travels up just behind them fourth from Diamber. Dark Bonnie off the track most of the way, is moving into it next around the outside, and then Strictly Jazz, Clinker pulls out wide. In the straight now down to the 400 metres. Court Dancer moved up to have a crack at Fleischer, the leader. Then Musical Chimes running on well, and wider out is Dark Bonnie, followed by Cap the Moon. Danish Habit plugging on only at the 200 now, and Court Dancer's taken the lead. Court Dancer in front, Musical Chimes, and Cap the Moon's getting through on the inside with the run. Musical Chimes racing to Court Dancer, Cap the Moon. It's Musical Chimes and Cap the Moon. Musical Chimes the outside, and Court Dancer kicking in a bobbing go. Court Dancer and Musical Chimes have hit it together, and Cap the Moon's run a big race. It's right there in the photo with them. Then Strictly Jazz, Diamber, followed by Clinker, Dark Bonnie, Fleischer next to finish, and Danish Habit dropped out to finish last of all. Another photo in race 2. Close go this time. It's a bobbing finish on. Set the brake. Road Rager in 3, just bouncing around a little. Off they go. Didn't begin all that well, Road Rager. Mr. Feelgood bounded out in front of Comet King, Kana Square. Rouge Fury away fast, pounced on the front now, and then Regan moving up to 5th, followed then by Road Rager, Comet King, Mappingly Pro Love, who's ridden away from the pace, now 3rd to last, and Commandiro whipped them in at the 1300, and Rouge Fury, the leader, out by a length. Kelvin had moved up into 2nd placing. Kana Square on the fence is 3rd. Regan is 4th on the outside, and Mr. Feelgood 5th on the fence, followed by Comet King. One Road Rager Mappingly, 2 lengths to Pro Love and 2 lengths to Commandiro at the 1,050 metres, and Rouge Fury a little over a length in front of Kelvin. Kana Square on the inside 3rd, followed by Regan the outside 4th, and one further back in the field, Mr. Feelgood. Then came Comet King a neck away, a length and a half to Mappingly. Road Rager, he's 3rd to last, and behind him Pro Love and Commandiro by the 800 metres, and Rouge Fury takes the field in the 3rd event down towards the home turn, a narrow leader. Kelvin had moved up to almost join him coming around the bend. Kana Square behind them with Regan, then Mr. Feelgood ridden along a little in 5th, followed by Comet King. Road Rager needs a spurt from there. Then came Pro Love, Mappingly over on the fence, a good way back cornering, and Commandiro. They're in the straight. Rouge Fury and Kelvin together at the 400, 2 lengths in front of Kana Square. Mappingly going through on the inside is coming home well. Comet King is further out from Mr. Feelgood, and Road Rager still a fair way back at the 200. There's many chances. Kelvin tackled by Kana Square. Mappingly still coming home on the inside. Kelvin, Kana Square and Mappingly fighting out 100 to go, with the now Kana Square going home a shade the better. Kana Square grabbed the lead. Kana Square wanted a nick to Kelvin or Mappingly. In behind them, Road Rager made a little bit of ground without any threat. In behind them, Mr. Feelgood, and they're followed by Comet King, and then came Commandiro, trailed by Rouge Fury, who again weakened, and then Pro Love and Regan dropped out to finish last of all. Kana Square finishing a little bit the better on the outside. Just about ready. Polo Jack coming up into the line again. Most bookmakers, please rule a line. We'll have a betting announcement follow the running of the race. Substitute is 11 Scenic Flight, and they're all in and they're set to go. Starter has them 1,400 metres. This is the 5th event of the afternoon. Off they go. And Scenic Flight down on the inside a little slow, and first out Captorino. Crepitus is up there quickly into 2nd. Scenic Flight is now pushing up on the inside to hold a prominent role, followed by Dance on Windbisker Go-Go going forward, and then Export Measure followed by Stoic Jester, Excise. Back behind them Golden Sarah settling about 3rd to last, and back up behind it is High Aims, and pulling and racing ungenerously is Rancho Prince at the tail of the field. Captorino led a half length, Crepitus is 2nd. A length Scenic Flight now with a good run on the inside, and Bisker Go-Go is out 3 wide. Dance on Wind pulling in 5th placing, followed by Excise round the outside of Stoic Jester. Then Export Measure, High Aims 3rd to last from Golden Seraph, and last of all is Rancho Prince when they near the turn, and Captorino at the 600 metres is going to lead about a neck in front. Crepitus is 2nd the outside. Bisker Go-Go 3 deep the trip. Export Measure just behind them on the inside when they corner, followed by Excise, and then Dance on Wind and Stoic Jester over on the inside with High Aims pulled out wide. Captorino at the 350 led by a length. Crepitus, who's flat to the boards, over on the inside now and coming home well. Scenic Flight after the leader. Captorino from Scenic Flight. Crepitus, Bisker Go-Go 150 to go, and Captorino still the leader. He's kicked out a length and a half now on Scenic Flight and Bisker Go-Go, and Captorino is coming clear. Fall Captorino 2 lengths. Bisker Go-Go, Scenic Flight 3rd. Then came Dance on Wind, who finished fairly well from Stoic Jester. Just behind those horses then Crepitus, followed in by Excise, High Aims, Export Measure, Rancho Prince last to go over the line, and there was a faller with about 50 to go, and that was Golden Seraph, and Brent Stanley already to his feet at about the 50 metre mark. Comes along to complete the line. Gathering Storm now into 4:30 has been a big go. Likely leader in the race, and they've been going quite well today, the leaders. 1,400, they're off now, and Voluto a little slow to move down on the inside, a good dispatch otherwise. Kunai's Choice is getting back early, and Marcos began very fast, and so did Perez sitting outside at early, leading Able Tycoon. Start on a length and a half away 4th. Just behind those horses then is Arctic Zone pushing through along the inside. Chester tightened up, lost a little bit of ground there, and Gathering Storm's gone forward too with Mr. Selby on the outside, and Arabian Magic trapped out, isn't far away from the leading horses. Well back in the field is Voluto. Ferndale dropped out to last as they came by the 800 metres. And the leader now is Perez. Perez about a half in front of Start On. Able Tycoon with a drop on the leaders is third on the inside, followed by Marcos, Mr. Selby wide. A length and a half to Gathering Storm. Then came Arabian Magic around the outside of it, and Arctic Zone goes through on the inside. Further back, Jester Chester, Ferndale. When they come around the home corner, Kunai's Choice is well back, and Voluto about last. In the straight, Perez led. Able Tycoon is going for a run on the inside. Start On a bit wider out from Mr. Selby. Gathering Storm is trying to get into the clear. He's had to ease right across heels, and he's gone back to a long way behind them. Able Tycoon shot through on the inside at the 200, dashed out by 2 from Perez, who's battling. Arabian Magic is making some ground on the outside, then Gathering Storm. It's Able Tycoon well clear though, and Able Tycoon wins it over 2 lengths to Arabian Magic, grabbing second, I'd say, from Arctic Zone. A gap to Perez, followed by Voluto, Ferndale. Gathering Storm didn't have a great deal of luck. Then Mr. Selby, and they're followed by Kunai's Choice. Start On. Next to finish was towards the end of the field, Marcos, and Jester Chester, after meeting some trouble mid-race, was last of all. Able Tycoon, my bodyguard in the middle, stood up okay. Off they go now. Veering over on the outside began reasonably well. Dylan jumped okay, and he's going to ease across the heels. They're all going to come to the grandstand side on this occasion. And Veering is up in the leading pack. Christmas Toy is there. Loafer is showing a lot of speed in the early part. Diamond Prince is with them as well when they settle down. Kit's Challenge a little bit wider out, and Tie Boxer is behind it. Dylan is back to about third last or so. Another Excuse is just behind him over on the rail, and Raging Force was last of all when they hit to the 600 metres now. And Loafer had got to the outside rail in front and leads to Veering Christmas Toy. Another Excuse just behind these horses, and wider out then is Golden Finale and Kit's Challenge. My bodyguard just behind the pace. Diamond Prince dropping out. Dylan with some work to do, and still Raging Force last, but it's a pretty bunched field. It's still Loafer out on the grandstand rail in front. Veering, although Hanging is coming after him, and they're clear of Kit's Challenge, Golden Finale, and Dylan weaving through the pack. Loafer in front of Veering. Loafer has him beaten, and then came Raging Force and Dylan, but it's Loafer with David Hall at his biggest payday, coming up for 4 winners for the day, and Loafer wins it well over Veering. Third to Raging Force in front of Dylan, and then came Kit's Challenge with the break to Diamond Prince, Golden Finale, My Bodyguard, Another Excuse, Christmas Toy Weekend, and back at the tail in Tie Boxer. That's a big afternoon for the DJ Hall team. 4 winners. Threadneedle moved up, Real Zeal comes up, and Shop Till You Drop as the outside gate. Moved in, and the field is set. Ready to go. Off now on the inside, Shane's Castle, the favourite, began well, and Tycoon Simply Success out well, with Torelli immediately spearing straight to the front. Quality Way was away nicely, moving up into a more prominent role, and so too on the outside as Tristes going forward by the 1600 metres. He's gone up on the outside, Tristes, to run to the lead, but he's headed immediately by Jolly Tip from an outside gate. He's sped across the field. At the 1400, Jolly Tip out by a length and a half to Tristes, 1 Torelli. Favoured runners are all up there in the first 3. Awesome Ruled is 4th. Simply Success pulling his head off on the inside. A faller. Quality Way lost the rider. Quality Way back there in the middle of the field has thrown the rider about 14.50 out. Now going up towards the 1200 metres, Jolly Tip from Tristes, Torelli, Awesome Rule on the outside, and then Threadneedle. Triple Gin in the centre. Simply Success has settled a little better on the inside. Elmer's Day scorches round the field. He's gone up to 4th now. They're followed by Elmana and Tycoon. 2 lengths further back is Big Talker, Shane's Castle. Then that riderless one back there with Real Zeal on the inside, and Shop Till You Drop. They're coming up to the turn. Awesome Rule shot to the front. It's been a race of changes. The pressure's really been on. Awesome Rule leads Jolly Tip, who's kicking back on the inside. As they swing around the home turn, Elmer's Preday is wide out under some pressure when they swing around the home turn. Tristes is up there in about 4th, and Torelli is easing out to have a crack at these leaders. At the 400 metres, Jolly Tip again in front of Awesome Rule. Torelli running on. Simply Success on the rail, and Tristes under the whip on the outside, clear of Tycoon. At the 200 metres, Jolly Tip tackled now by Awesome Rule. Torelli is still there grinding home. Awesome Rule takes the lead from Jolly Tip. Torelli, here's Tycoon and Big Talker starting to come home well together. Tycoon's taken the lead. Big Talker coming at him. Tycoon beat Big Talker. A length to Simply Success third. just in front of Torelli. Then Awesome Rill, behind these Elmana, then Real Zeal. Shane's Castle, followed by Jolly Tip. Well, he probably was working a long, long way from home. In behind those to finish Trip